As you said, ALD is one of the largest mobility companies in the world, and we manage approximately 1.7 million vehicles across 43 different countries, providing corporates and private individuals with financing, servicing, and management of those cars. We also sell more than 300,000 used vehicles every year across those territories as they reach the end of their contracts. The EV revolution is here. So in the second quarter of 2020, the percentage of new registrations on our fleet reached 19% across Europe. And we have an ambition to be at least 30% by 2025. And at the heart of our new Move 2025 strategy, we have an ambition where we couple all our strategic actions called Move for Good, where we put people and CSR at the heart of everything we do. And a key pillar of how we can do that is by supporting the drive towards a more sustainable world, in supporting our corporate clients on the transition to electric vehicles. And as you heard from Henrik earlier, this is becoming a central plank of the strategy of most organizations today. We see our role as ensuring that our corporate clients have the information, the knowledge, the support, and understanding of how to perform the transition in the most efficient manner, and also helping them overcome some of these traditional concerns regarding range, infrastructure, and cost when it comes to electric vehicles and the adoption of them. We cover all areas of the transition. We have an ALD Electric program. We provide a holistic approach to helping the transition. We look with our clients at the vehicle choice that's available, at the infrastructure that's available to support charging, access to clean energy, as mentioned by Julia and the guys from EDF, which is key, an analysis of the data and the driver patterns so we can identify the most suitable drivers to make the transition immediately and then continue to move people over as the usage patterns become more aligned with the choice of vehicles available. And central to this is also the consideration of the total cost of ownership, which is beginning to equalize for corporates with the help of government incentives, but continues to pose a challenge for some of the corporates who would like to move faster. Now, we recognize we don't do this alone. We work with partners in this ecosystem, such as ChargePoint and Polestar that you've heard of today. And we also work with all the other OEM partners, including Tesla and utility providers, to try to bring this holistic offer into play for all of our clients. It's worth noticing we also see a key role in the way we retail used cars in democratizing access to electric vehicles as well. A lot of private individuals today struggle to get into an electric vehicle today because of the price of new vehicles. However, through used vehicles and used vehicle leasing, we're able to bring high quality electric vehicles that are 3 or 4 years old, but are fully serviced and fully maintained and come with various warranties and guarantees to make those cars available to people that are going to require them now and in the future. And particularly as we face an increase in bans into city centres where you will need an electric vehicle, we see a role that we can play in terms of making those, used electric vehicles more accessible to those private individuals. The last thing I just want to mention is in terms of that data insight that I talked about, we recently conducted a study in the UK where we monitored the driving behaviour of 10,000 company car drivers on our fleet over a period of 6 months pre-COVID. The aim was to review these real driving patterns, not theoretical numbers, of real company car drivers and understand how we could support them in making the transition quicker. This study shows us that 2/3 of these drivers cover more than 200 miles in a single day, on average less than 1 day per month. And what this means is that the transition for those drivers would be very easy to go into an electric vehicle with minimal disruption to their normal daily working patterns. And in fact, if you increase the limit to 250 miles per day, which is the average range of most of the new EVs coming to market now, the number rises to 80%. And what this allows us to do is provide real insight to our corporate clients that actually this transition is not as difficult as they believe. Now, it's very important that we provide the full range of services on the transition. We need to make sure the drivers are provided with charging infrastructure which enables them to drive fully charged vehicles. Otherwise, we end up in the situation that we've seen with PHEVs in recent times, that if you take a PHEV and you don't charge it on a regular basis, you're actually not only negating the positive impact, but you're actually worsening it in driving a heavier car and creating more pollution in the environment. So in conclusion, we're committed to supporting the transition. We recognize our responsibility in assisting our corporate clients in making this transition in an informed manner. And we remain fundamentally optimistic in the belief that in everything we do today, we can contribute to a more sustainable future tomorrow.
John, that was a hugely insightful talk. So thank you so much for sharing that insight. May I open up questions now to our audience? So the question that I have for you, John, is sustainability the primary concern of your customers who drive electric? And if not, what is?
We've seen a shift in corporate thinking in the last couple of years, and it is sustainability. Most corporates are now coming under increasing pressure from shareholders and stakeholders to become more sustainable in terms of how they carry out their business activities. And I also think there's a leadership culture emerging as well, where sustainability is right at the top of any corporate agenda. So a lot of people are looking to accelerate that transition, and we were very interested that even during the COVID period, it didn't slow down. The transition continued to accelerate, and there's a newfound momentum behind that transition coming out of the COVID period. I should add, however, Shelley, that most people that drive some of these EVs out there love them as well. So a lot of people, when they actually drive an EV and they enjoy the experience of driving an EV, never want to go back as well. So we're finding that once you put someone in an electric vehicle, they never want to come out of it again. And all of these worries seem to suddenly disintegrate because you get such a great ride from doing it.
Thank you so much for that, John. I totally agree. I've been driving electric for the past 5 years, and there's no way that you can put me back in a petrol car again.